Hey, this is Mario from Slickcoach, and today I want to talk about refeeds, cheat meals, and cheat days. Let's go! Let's start with refeeds first. Refeeds are a tool that you can use to increase leptin levels and refill depleted glycogen stores during a long cut. You do this by consuming your maintenance calories. So let's say your maintenance calories, the amount of calories you need to not lose any weight and also to not gain any weight, is 2000 calories. That means you're probably cutting at, say, 1500 calories, because 500 calories is a good, maintainable, sustainable, and healthy deficit. So a refeed day would mean you actually consume 2000 calories on that day, instead of the 1500 you ate over the course of the last 1 or 2 or maybe 4 weeks or whatever the case may be. But most importantly, you consume mostly carbs. Some people say macros don't matter on a refeed day, and that couldn't be further from the truth. If you consume, theoretically, 2000 calories worth of fat, you will not fill up your glycogen stores, and you will also not increase your leptin levels, which is your hunger hormone, so you will not increase satiety and decrease hunger throughout the course of the next few days. So fat doesn't help on a refeed day at all. Protein is not really necessary on a refeed day because it doesn't give you anything. So what you should do is you keep your protein low to medium. You will get some protein anyway from the carb sources, and maybe add a little bit protein rich foods here and there if you want to, but you don't have to. Very little fat and a lot of carbs. You want to refill your glycogen stores, you want to increase leptin as much as possible, so over the course of the next 7 or 14 days you have less hunger, your leptin levels are higher, and your glycogen is topped up, so you're stronger in the gym. Fat doesn't help with that. Protein, just very little. Has very little impact on leptin and no impact on glycogen stores unless it's converted through glyconeogenesis. So don't care too much about protein. Make sure to eat a lot of carbs to get to your 2000 calories in the example I used. How often should you do a refeed? It really depends on your body. Listen to your body. Some people, they start a cut and then they do a refeed after 2 weeks every week, which doesn't make any sense. Your body is not in a state where it needs a refeed after 2 weeks of a little bit of cutting. You might need refeeds 5, 6, 7 weeks in, depending on your body and how big your deficit is, how much muscle mass you have, and how many carbs you ate before. But generally speaking, every other week is a good target. If you don't feel like it, you feel like, oh, I'm good, my cut is going good, I'm losing body fat and I'm not like very hungry, don't do a refeed day. It doesn't help you then. If you're still strong, if you feel good, you're losing weight constantly, don't do a refeed. Just because your program says you have to do a refeed doesn't make any sense. Your body is specific to you, it's custom, and it needs to be treated that way. Women might benefit from a few more or a little bit more frequent refeed days though, but still not every week. Doesn't make any sense unless you are in a 16-week cut and towards the end of the cut you might need a refeed day every week, but only if you really need it. Alright, next up would be cheat meals. A cheat meal is not as specific as a refeed. So a cheat meal usually means you have one meal per week where you can eat pretty much whatever the hell you want. Doesn't matter if it's fat, carbs, both, protein, doesn't matter. So most people use it to treat themselves with a large, big bowl of something or a big plate of something. The problem with cheat meals is you don't really know how many calories you should eat, what type of carbs or any carbs at all, and it's very just a good guess. So most people will probably overeat on a cheat meal alone, so they go overboard on one meal and eat 1000 or even more calories, and that's not a good thing obviously for your cut. Which leads us to cheat days, where people mostly eat clean throughout the week, for instance, and then on a Sunday or a Saturday they go nuts all day. And I did that before and it's fun, but you will destroy a lot of your progress that you have made throughout the week, maybe even revert it and gain more fat than you had before. So a cheat day is not really recommended in any way. It doesn't help with anything. A cheat meal and a cheat day have no real benefit over a refeed. You will not have a slowed down metabolism or anything like that. That has been disproven over and over again. A cheat day does not help you in any way more than a cheat meal does, and a cheat meal doesn't help in any way more than a refeed day does. So on a refeed day, you eat more carbs in every meal, and you eat 500 calories, in our example, more than you normally do in your cut. And that's fine. You will have more leptin, you will feel more satiated, you will have more glycogen in your glycogen stores, and you will feel better. Cheat meal does not help with that in any way more than a refeed does. So if you want to do something like that, go with a refeed. But here's something a lot of people ask though. What happens if I cheat meal, cheat day, whatever? Do I really reverse all my progress? And most people know that calories in, calories out is how the body reacts. So they assume, say 2000 calories, 1500 for 6 days, that makes 3000 calories deficit. Now on the 7th day you eat 5000 calories, which means the 3000 calories surplus on that day. That means 3000 deficit, 3000 surplus. Your progress is pretty much zero, right? And that is wrong actually. Your progress is not zero, and here's why. First, your body will always top up glycogen stores before it stores carbs as body fat. As I said earlier, that's why you do a refeed. At least that's one of the reasons you do a refeed. So if you have depleted glycogen stores because you ate probably less carbs than you burned throughout the last 6 days, even if you have a huge cheat day with 5000 calories, some of the calories will go to the glycogen stores first. Second, every food has a thermic effect. Carbs have a higher thermic effect of food, and protein has an even higher thermic effect. And the thermic effect means your body burns calories while it digests the food. With carbs, it's somewhere between 5 to 15%. So if you overconsume 3000 calories, 5 to 15% of those are wasted in the process of actually digesting those carbs. If you eat a little bit more protein as well, even more, because protein has a thermic effect of food of roughly 30%. And third, carbs cannot be converted one-to-one into body fat, because carbs are not fat yet. Dietary fat can almost be converted one-to-one to body fat because it's already fat. Carbs have to be converted in your body into body fat, and that has a cost as well, usually roughly 30%. So your progress is not zero. I did it myself in the past. I had massive cheat days with 8 to 10,000 calories, a lot of fat as well, and I lost weight on a weekly basis. Now that's not optimal, you shouldn't do it, it's not healthy, or it's fun but it's not healthy, it's not helping you in any way. You should do refeeds. If you eat mostly fat on a cheat day though, as I mentioned earlier, that fat can be converted easily into body fat, it will not be used for glycogen stores, and you will get fat quite quick. On a side note, if you consume alcohol on a cheat day, you will screw yourself good, because alcohol screws up your fat oxidation and also carb and protein oxidation, so it's really hard for your body to burn body fat. It's more likely to store excess calories as body fat, and that will actually happen throughout the next 24 to 48 hours after you consumed alcohol. So if you really have to go nuts on a cheat day, make sure to eat mostly carbs, drink a lot, and don't drink alcohol. Just drink a lot of water. So there you have it, but honestly don't have too many cheat days. A cheat meal is fine, but try to have a refeed instead, a lot of carbs. Make sure the refeed is healthy carbs and not too much junk if possible. Because if you eat too much sugar on that day, your body will crave more sugar in the next few days. So just try to get more complex carbs on that day. They will keep you more satiated anyway. I hope that helps. And if you like the video, make sure to hit that little button down there that looks like this. That would really help me out a lot. See you next time.